Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you about text boxes and about using the pen. Alright, so up here in our tools, at the moment I'm on my select. But if I want to add a text box, I click on the letter A. And when I'm in that mode, anywhere I click out here will become a text box. My cursor is automatically there ready for me to type. So I'm going to type hello. Now right now, anything in here I can select with my cursor if I want to, and I can change. So I can make it bold, I can adjust the font that I'm using once my fonts load up. You can also do this before you start typing, so you could select all of these options and then type, or you could type and then edit the options and see how it looks. So that's all up to you. So I can change my font, change the size of my text, I can center it or left align it, or right align it. I can use all sorts of special characters, bullet points, things like that. I can change the color of my text, and then this here decides whether my text shows up as opaque or fading out. So all of these sorts of options are similar to anything you can do with an object as well, but you're doing it to your font. So wherever your cursor is, again, you can click in there, you can keep typing hello everyone, and make any sorts of changes you want there. Now, I am still in font mode, so if I click out somewhere, it's just going to be ready to create a new text box. If I want to do anything else with this item that I've already written, I have to go back to my arrow to select. Then I can grab that object and I can move it, I can rotate it, I can resize it, so that can just edit the size of my font right there, or I can click on the arrow and I can get some other options like locking it in place, allowing it to move, cloning it, things like that. So I'm going to lock mine in place at the moment so that now it can't move no matter what I do. So that's one option on how to create words on your screen, and you can do that as many times as you want. You just grab your letter A there, you click where you want your words to appear, and go ahead and type in whatever you're looking to write. Okay. Now, another way to get words up on your board is to use the pen. You can just pick the pen up off of the tray and use that to write on the board, which is probably the most natural way to do it. Or you can click here and you can use your mouse to do it. So you can see that my cursor has turned into a pen. Again, I have all sorts of options here. I can decide what color line I want. I can decide if I want it to be a dashed line, if I want it to have an arrow or a box at the end, how opaque I want it to be. I can even click on the pen and decide what type of pen I want to use. Now at the moment I'm just going to use a regular pen, and I'm going to write hello. Now just have a look if I change something up. Let's say I do it in this dotted hot pink version. I can still type hello, but it comes out dotted and hot pink. I guess I'm not typing it, I'm writing it. I could go over here to my option and make it a crayon instead, and it'll just come out with that crayon look to it. So it's another way to write. Now one cool thing you can do with this, if you select, so you go back to your arrow tool, and you select anything that you've written within that one text box will all be selected together. So you'd have to have 5 separate text boxes here if you wanted the letters to show up separately. But this is now an object, so I can move that word I've written, I can rotate the word I've written, I can resize it, I can lock it, I can clone it, but another really cool thing that you can do is you can ask the software to recognize it. So it can see that I have written hello, and it will recognize it as hello, and if I select this, it will turn it into a typeset font. If you challenge your kids to come up, and let's say they're going to write the word the, if they write the word decently, then you should be able to select it, and the software ought to be able to recognize it. And that can be sort of an achievement for them, that if they've written it clearly enough for the computer to know what it is. Whereas let's say that you've got a not so neat version, and you select it. Computer now thinks this says 5mg. And that's a pretty clear message to that student that this is not an acceptable way to write the word the, because the computer thinks that's what they've written. So that's just kind of a fun challenge and thing that you can do with the pen. All right, so that is how to add a text box, edit and change your text, and use the pen to create and identify words. Hope that was helpful. Leave me a comment and let me know what you want to learn about next.